Well. Beautiful people, best damn nation. It's Wednesday, and you know what time it is. It is the best damn wrestling podcast. I'm your humble host, Brian Renegade, and with me, I have the best damn crew. I got your boy, the Sultan of Spices, the king of the kitchen. Some call him the pastry pimp, but we all know and love him, F Chef. Showtime. What's happening?
What's good? How you guys doing today?
Oh man. We good, my brother. We had a hell of a Monday night. We're gonna talk about that in a few, Chef.
Yes, we did.
All right, it's good to have you this week. Next we have the entrepreneur of entrepreneurs. We call him the Renaissance Man. He is the resident villain of the Best Damn Wrestling Podcast. The dawn of the Best Damn Wrestling Podcast. LP is in the building.
What's going on, everybody? Hopefully, everybody's doing better than I am right now, but we in here.
Oh, man. LP is a little under the weather, y'all. So many blessings and healing energy going your way, my brother.
I appreciate
it. All right. Next, we have Mr. Boots to Asses. This man has 2 championship belts. He is the resident wrestler of the Best Damn Wrestling Podcast. He's your mama's favorite wrestler, and he can whoop your daddy ass. Mr. Everything, Victor Andrews.
Yo, check this out, ladies and gentlemen, the Best Damn Crew. It's WrestleMania week. Happy WrestleMania week. We need to turn this energy up because we're about to find out how everything is going to come to a head with the bloodline, with Brock and Omos. We got a lot of things going on, but before we get to all that, we got to do this because we don't really do this much, and this man deserves to have an introduction. He is the Capitan of the Best Damn Podcast. He is the head honcho. He is the chief, the tribal chief of the Best Damn Wrestling Podcast. And he's got us excited about WrestleMania. Ladies and gentlemen, Brian Renegade.
What damn it, sir. Thank you for the I love getting some intros, you know what I'm saying, every once in a while. Make a brother feel good. I appreciate that, Mr. Everything. Beautiful people, we are the Best Damn Crew. We got a hell of a show for you. And you already know this is one of our favorite seasons. This is WrestleMania season. Fellas, we're getting close to the show. I want to go around the room and see what you guys are thinking about this show. Are you excited? Are you not? And then we're going to break it down. So I just want to see, are you guys excited for this WrestleMania? And do you think this WrestleMania will live up to WrestleMania 38? Let me go, Chef. Showtime.
Yeah, I think it is. I think it's going to be a good WrestleMania. It's going to be awesome. I got just one match. I want to see Dom get beat on. I want to see Seth Sturm, curb stump, Logan Paul. And I want to see Omos throw Brock Lesnar over the top rope.
Oh, man. That sounds like a lot of action, sir. Seems like Chef is ready. Now I'm looking at the screen, man. Before we get into the rest of the fellas, I see you got a picture up there with the great KO.
Oh yeah. I went to a little meet and greet, and I met Kevin Owens, and I was trying to get a video, but they told me I needed an immediate release form with him signing it, and that was too much, But I found out what his favorite food is though. He
What's his
said he
favorite
like
food?
a medium rare T-bone steak.
Meat man. All right. Medium rare T-bone steak. Medium rare? Oh, I don't know about medium rare, bro. Medium, that's still bleeding. You know, it's
It's healthy.
cow still mooing. Medium rare? You got to be almost a serial killer to medium rare. You know. Oh man, but that's cool, man. We're gonna go get more into the KO story in a little bit, Chef. LPZ, man, are you excited about this WrestleMania? And do you think this WrestleMania will stand up to WrestleMania 38?
I'm trying to remember what even happened at WrestleMania 38. I don't think WrestleMania 38 was a memorable.
It was a pretty big. I mean, Stone Cold Steve Austin came out of retirement. Vince McMahon had his essentially last match. It was a lot of stuff that happened in WrestleMania 38, man. And then of course you had the banger with Bianca Belair, and I believe was it Becky Lynch on this one, or was it? Yeah, it was Becky Lynch, wasn't it? At WrestleMania. Yeah. Yeah, so it was a great show all the way around. I mean, WrestleMania 38 was pretty good, but you think that WrestleMania 39 will stand up to that?
If all the matches are good, I mean, they pretty much got everything in place. I mean, I feel bad for my boy Bobby Lashley that he ain't got nothing to do. I'm pretty sure he's gonna win that Andre the Giant Memorial Rumble for no reason. I really hate that they couldn't have put him somewhere else. But with the time frame, what could they do? But yeah, other than that, I think it's gonna be pretty decent.
Yeah, man, I think it's going to be a really good show, man, and I'm excited about it. Mr. Everything, what do you think about WrestleMania 39, and are you excited about this event?
I'm starting to get a little bit more excited, mainly because, I mean, it is WrestleMania. How could you not be excited about WrestleMania? However, some of the matches are giving us WrestleMania vibes, some of them aren't. But it only remains to be seen. I mean, we got a lot of storylines that's going to end and some storylines is going to begin. So I think that's where my excitement is where what's going to happen on that Monday night, the Monday after WrestleMania. What's going to happen to start new stories, new champions, if we're going to have new champions, like what's going to happen? That's what I'm excited about.
Man, I can definitely attest to that. Let's go ahead and jump into this past Monday, man. On Monday Night Raw. This was the last Monday Night Raw before the big event, WrestleMania. Myself and Chef Showtime had a hell of a time, man. We went out there, had some pretty good seats too. And we were able to check out the entire event from start to finish. Phoenix has the last two major events where they came to Phoenix. They've really been a catalyst into the larger program. So like this WrestleMania this Monday Night Raw going into WrestleMania, man, the Phoenix crowd really played a part in really telling the stories that are happening and unfolding in front of us. Let me go back to Chef real quick, man, because you had a funny story that you wanted to tell us about your boy KO, man. Tell us a little bit more about the meet and greet for KO. And, to be honest with you, Chef, it looks like you a little bit taller than Kevin Owens.
I am, and I was shocked because when I walked up, I was walking up on him and he started looking me up and down like he wanted to fight. I'm like, oh man. so I'm bumping off his stuff. Like, okay. When I got to you, like, hey, how you doing? I'm like, okay. I'm like, it's a little dude. Like, I thought he would be way bigger, but he's little.
Is it? Wow. Yeah, I believe him, man. And you say his favorite dish was the T-bone, right?
Yeah, his favorite food is a T-bone steak. Oh yeah, and some crazy stuff. I'm like, We got monsters. They was giving monsters out, man. This dude bit the top of the can open, like he got gator teeth.
You talking about the Monster Energy drinks?
Yes,
And he just bit the can open, pulled the cap back with his teeth.
straight pit bull style. Just bit the cat back.
See, my teeth ain't that strong. I would have broke everything. I would have been talking to y'all gumming the whole thing. Oh man, that's gangster right there. Kevin Owens is biting bottles in half, man, just to drink beer. I think that was a great experience that you had with Kevin Owens, man. Like I said, it looked like KO was a little bit shorter than you, man. I think you could take KO. Shit, what you think? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think I can. I'll do a tag team with Mr. Everything, but me, Mr. Everything against KO and Sami Zayn.
I'll pay money to see that.
Sign me up. Sign me up. Let's do it.
I would pay money to see that Jack. Oh man. Fellas, so it was a lot of stuff that went on. I wanted you guys to check out a couple of clips that we enjoyed while we were at the show, man. We had a lot. Let me go over to one of the matches that I thoroughly enjoyed on Monday Night Raw, where you had Gunther facing Dolph Ziggler, man. And Dolph, you know I'm a Dolph Ziggler fan. I don't like how they're doing Dolph, but your boy Gunther put the pause on Dolph Ziggler. And let's check out some of his fan footage that I was able to capture of some of this match, man.
He probably will.
Oh man, that was a little rough, but man, Gunther was putting in the work. He damn near chopped the soul out of Dolph Ziggler, man. His chest was so folded like laundry. It was crazy. By the time he left that match, both of his nipples was touching. But I thought that was a great moment, man. I thoroughly enjoyed that. But where do you guys see Gunther in this matchup going into WrestleMania against Drew McIntyre and Sheamus? Do you think that Gunther will be able to hold on to the belt against those two brutes? Or do you think that one of the guys is going to take it off of him? I know that we talked about Sheamus before and how Sheamus really wants this to be able to kind of complete some things within WWE. He's never held the Intercontinental WWE Championship. So if he wins this match, then he will get that belt, man, and he'll pretty much have had every belt in WWE. Let me go Chef Showtime since you're already right here, man. Do you think Gunther has the ability to pull it out against Sheamus and Drew McIntyre?
To be honest, no. If it's a real live match, I have a feeling he gonna get Bro kicked and he gonna get Claymore at the same time. Gunther's out, then Drew McIntyre win. That's how it's supposed to be. But you know how they're gonna break it up. They're gonna make Gunther seem like he's a beast and he's gonna keep it. So, yeah, I'm not interested in this match that much.
Yeah. Mr. Everything, man, who do you think is going to pull off this win, and where does Gunther go after this if he does win?
Man, I mean, it's a lot of things to consider. Sheamus is on his way out. Let's start there. He's on his way out. So if they really want to send him off in the right way, they have to give him the Intercontinental title. It's the only championship he's never held. If by chance Gunther does win, who is left for him to really step in the ring with? And we really got to consider Omos at this point with that situation, because we're not going to really look at McIntyre going in a one-on-one situation with Gunther. It makes no sense. It does nothing for McIntyre. It spearheads Gunther to the next level, but then again, who are you going to have after Drew McIntyre if they do a Drew McIntyre versus Gunther one-on-one? So I really see Sheamus getting the belt because he's on his way out. He's kind of passing the torch to the Brawling Brutes. And this is, like we keep saying, it's the only title he's never held. So you got to give it to Sheamus on this one. Let him have his WrestleMania moment. He's had really great WrestleMania moments. Let's not forget the 8 seconds that he beat Daniel Bryan for the title. So give Sheamus his moment. Let him go out smiling and happy.
Yeah, man, I would love to see Sheamus get that belt. To be honest with you, though, I think Drew needs it more than anybody because Drew really needs a morale boost, man, to go from champion to the bottom of the rung to like being stuck in the middle card. He's closed a couple of shows, but he's not really been the focus of the SmackDown show because we all know that is Roman Reigns' domain, and it's really hard for Drew to get from under the shadow of a Roman Reigns. But I think that the match between him, Drew McIntyre, Sheamus, and Gunther is going to be a banger. LP, I know your boy is Gunther, man. Do you think your boy Gunther is going to pull out the win in WrestleMania, or do you think he's going to have his hands full with Drew McIntyre and Sheamus?
I actually think when you look at the lineup, Bianca's had the belt for a long time. Gunther has the belt for a long time. Roman has the belt for a long time. There's no way all three of them are leaving with the belts. Like it's literally no way. I would be very shocked. Let me say that. I ain't gonna say no way. I would be very shocked if all three of them leave with the belt. I think that I agree with what y'all said that Sheamus, to give him that one little thing, but at the same time, they could have gave that to Sheamus a couple times and they didn't. So why would they give it to him now when they didn't give it to him before? I really think Gunther is going to pull it off and going to shock everybody because everybody's assuming that it's going to go that way because of that situation. I think that he will win this match, but he'll lose at SummerSlam, or he'll lose it by one of them. Not he won't get pinned, but one of them pin each other, which is bullcrap on his part. But I think Gunther is headed toward the championship once they split the championships up. I think that Roman's not losing the belt at WrestleMania, but Roman's losing the belts at SummerSlam, and then once they stop holding these belts hostages, so they can start having some better storylines and more people can have something to fight for. But Gunther is about to get a belt, a big belt.
Fellas, do we not want to see Gunther versus Roman Reigns? Why are they avoiding that? To be honest with you, and I love Cody. I'm a Cody fan, and I'm gonna talk about Cody's impact after in a few minutes. But to be honest with you, I think I will be 10 times more excited to see Gunther versus Roman Reigns, and then have Imperium and the Bloodline have interactions with each other. I think that is money. Am I tripping? Or, maybe this is Cody's time. But I really, from the Royal Rumble, I really wanted to see Gunther versus the Tribal Chief. LP, is that something that you wanted to see, or are you happy with Cody versus Roman?
Well, I've never been on the Cody thing since this whole thing happened. I think they have done a good job making it more appealing, but I've never cared about Cody going for the belt. I think with Gunther, I think enough people didn't know who Gunther was, but I think after the Royal Rumble, people was like, "Who is this dude?" Like, I really think Gunther was not like. I'm not gonna say a household name because Cody to me is not a household name. I just think he was after the Rumble. More people started to look at him, So now they can start gearing him more towards getting that belt. I see Gunther winning the belt, and I just feel like they're gonna do some kind of tournament or something for that belt. I just don't think it's gonna be everybody gonna beat Roman for both of them belts. I don't know, maybe I'm crazy, but I see Gunther winning it like that. I don't. If the next person that need to fight Roman, if anybody should have been Bobby Lashley, the one person that they keeping away from him. So Bobby deserves that way more than Gunther. But everybody knows that Roman can't beat Bobby. I don't care what nobody. They can make it. They can't make it believable, and I think that's why they don't do it. Roman is nowhere close to Bobby's level.
Oh man, let's ask the fighter of the Best Damn Wrestling Podcast, Mr. Everything. Who do you want to see if Cody doesn't pull off the win at WrestleMania? Which a lot of people are expecting Cody to win, but we at the Best Damn Wrestling Podcast are saying that the Tribal Chief is going to pull off the win with that belt. And I really don't see them pulling the belt off of Roman before he hits the 1,000-day mark. And LP, you alluded to that in the last podcast of, they're letting some of the sports legends reach some of these pillars, man. And in the modern day, there is no better wrestler than Roman Reigns. So why wouldn't you let him hit that benchmark of 1,000 days? I just realized by watching the documentary that Asuka, when she was undefeated during her time at NXT, and then when she ran through the main roster before she got derailed by Charlotte, she had over 900 and something days. She was almost at her 1,000 days of being undefeated. I did not realize that. And that made her have one of the longest undefeated streaks in WWE. Now, Roman is running up on that, but that was very interesting statistic that I found out. So, this is my question. If Drew does not win this, and this is kind of put up or shut up for Drew McIntyre. If Drew McIntyre does not win this belt, where does Drew go from here? Because I'm a Drew McIntyre fan. I think he held it down during the what do they call the era? During the Thunderdome era, he held it down. He was a champion for a long time. He defeated everybody. He was entertaining. He could talk. He's a big guy. I thought they was going to put the jetpack on the back of Drew McIntyre, but then there was some breaks with Drew when it came to the development of the whole bloodline storyline. So what do you guys see Drew McIntyre going after this if he does not win the title? Let me go, Chef Showtime.
I think if he don't win the title, they're gonna put him back into the title reign with Roman Reigns. That's the only place I can see him at the moment of time, because they can't put him as a tag team because I don't know who they can put as a tag team partner with him. But yeah, I can see him in the running for the championships.
Yeah, man. LP, where do you see Drew McIntyre going after WrestleMania, man? Do you think he will be in another title contention, or do you think Drew will still play the mid card?
They'll send him to Raw and they have him going after the U.S. title. You got to think the U.S. title and the Intercontinental title are really the main titles that people are going for. So as long as he's going for a title, he would have to go to Raw. I don't see them leaving him on SmackDown if he doesn't win. Like he would probably be better as a U.S. contender because you got Bobby over there, you got other people over there. I think he would do better. They can't keep him and Sheamus on the same show after this.
Yeah. Let's go out to the Best Damn Nation real quick and see what people are saying. We have Ryan O'Connor from Facebook. He's saying Gunther is not the man. He has the skills, but he doesn't look right. Okay, let me say something real quick. Chef, you know where I'm going with this. Because we saw Gunther live. Now, mind you, Gunther is a big guy. Gunther is a big dude, man. He's about, 6'4", 6'5". He's chiseled. You know, I remember. You know, Walter. His Walter character. Walter was a big dude, and I believed every single one of his chops moved some spinal fluid around. But to see Gunther live and to see him walk around the room, and I'm not being a hater when I say this, but Gunther moved like one of them worms from Men in Black. he just when he walked around, he just reminded me of the worms from Men in Black. Man, he just looks a little awkward. You know what I'm saying? It's like, Chef, am I tripping?
Nah, he looked, honestly, in person, Gunther looked weird. Like, I'm like asking people, how old is Gunther? He looked old, like super old in person.
Gunther looked like he was 97 in the face. Gunther looked like he had his AARP card already. I love Gunther, man, but just to see him in person, I was like, man, he moves a little weird. Like, for instance, like my first time seeing Shaquille O'Neal was when he played with the Heat, and he came out and he was just this figure, man, that was moving, but he just moved like a caveman, bro. I don't know. it just weird. I was like, man, that's Shaq, man. You know, he moving a little slower than I would think he would, you know. But Gunther, you know, he's an imposing figure. He is an absolute dominant force on the main roster. Gunther is the man to beat, to be honest with you, and I think that his fandom has grown ever since the Royal Rumble, man. Let's go back to the Best Damn Nation. It says Roman is going to win. They will not pull the belt until SummerSlam. Roman is a SHIT, I ain't gonna say it out loud, wrestler. He only has 5 moves top. Oh man, you saying Roman has the 5 moves of doom like your boy John Cena? Mr. Everything. Let's talk about that real quick. Does that hurt or hinder a wrestler when they have a familiar moveset to the fans, but it's very limited in their moveset? You know what I'm saying? Like, for instance, we say, you know, John Cena, the 5 moves of doom, you know, he does his five moves that he does every match. Does that hurt or does that hinder a wrestler?
It actually does not. If you really think about it and really go back to everybody from the beginning of time, everybody pretty much had like the 5 moves of doom, where you knew, okay, this is going into the finish, or this is where, you know, this is the end of the match. Randy Orton has his DDT off the rope into the power slam and all that other jazz, right into the RKO. Stone Cold had his Luthez press right into the knee and elbow, getting ready for the the stunner. You know, The Rock had the rock bottom. He had the spine buster, getting ready for the people's elbow. Like, everybody had their 5 moves of doom. So it's pretty much a signature for everybody to see. Next one coming. Now, Ace, he has 5 moves. Okay. However, I don't really see Roman Reigns utilizing his 5 moves every single match. Right. He changes up every now and then. He has guillotine that he's going.
We losing you a little bit. But yeah, man, I think that having a moveset that fans recognize and that they're familiar with is always great, because you know what's coming. You know what I'm saying? You know, after John Cena does a certain move, what is it? I don't know if it's a spine buster. What is that? Whatever move he sets up for the 5 knuckle shuffle. You know what I'm saying? You already know what's coming after that. The Rock, once he hits a spine buster, you know he's going to set up for the people's elbow. Stone Cold Steve Austin, you're right. After he does the Luthez press, he's going to do the kick and stunner right after that, not too long after that. And for some wrestlers, that can be very detrimental unless they're a fan favorite. I like seeing a wrestler pull out reserves. For instance, I am an AJ Styles fan. I'm pissed off because I have not seen AJ Styles on my television. AJ, if you're listening to my voice, man, what the hell? What's going on? I just saw the Good Brothers for the first time in like 3-4 weeks. So I want to see AJ Styles because every time AJ Styles fights, every time a Ricochet fight, hell, every time a Carmelo Hayes fight, you always see something new during the match. And I love that because you don't know what's going to happen. And I hate matches that I can overly predict how they're going to be. With AJ Styles, man, AJ Styles will pull out some stuff that I ain't seen before or that, I didn't even know was in his repertoire. You know what I'm saying? So I love seeing that. And a lot of people don't like watching the Roman Reigns fight because it is slow and methodical. And Roman is really on a new upper echelon of storytelling right now. But when it comes to movesets, man, I love to see wrestlers have more than just a simple single moveset. And I think style-wise, let me ask this question. Style-wise, do you think Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes match up? I'm looking at the match right now. Do you think they match up style-wise? And who do you think has the advantage going into this match between Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns? Let me go LP.
Real quick to kind of hit on what Mr. Everything said on this topic.
Yeah.
A lot of wrestlers do have the signature moves and stuff that they're going to do, but it's different when they know how to make it entertaining. Roman is not one of those wrestlers that can make it entertaining. John Cena was not one of those wrestlers that really made it entertaining because he mainly just did his 5 moves. Let's look at The Undertaker. The Undertaker would do his 4 or 5 things, but Undertaker got some of the greatest matches in the history of wrestling because the Undertaker would do so much other stuff too. So right. When you look at Roman is very boring in the ring. Like I've never got excited by a Roman match. If anything, you get excited where you don't know if they're gonna let him lose or win because of who he is. But like his matches, like now watching Brock is boring to watch now. Early Brock versus Kurt, or Brock versus Undertaker, John Cena, that was an exciting Brock to watch. But like Brock now is just boring. And I think that's the difference with certain wrestlers. I feel like Cody is going to carry this whole entire match because Cody, whether people want to admit it or not, Cody is hands down a much better wrestler than Roman. I'm so sorry. I know Roman is supposed to be the top guy, whatever, because of storylines. Roman is not the top guy because of his wrestling skills, and to keep it honest, because of his mic skills. Roman mic skills have gotten better, but they have not gotten. He's not on no Ric Flair shit. Like Roman, when you really pay attention to Roman now, most of the time he says something to Paul Heyman or he says little slow stuff, but without the bloodline behind Roman is still the same Roman. The bloodline just covers up his weaknesses. And the same thing with matches. Really go back and watch his last couple matches. Even his matches against Logan Paul. Logan Paul outshined Roman Reigns in the damn match. Go back and watch it if you think I'm lying. Logan Paul really literally outshined him in the match. So Cody is going to carry that match. But the main thing is going to be is the near falls is what's going to make everybody excited about this match. The same thing with the other matches, because it's like, is they going to give it to Cody or is Roman going to keep it? The last little bit of the match is going to be the most exciting part of that whole entire match, and the interferences.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's always a slow, like you can go to the bathroom, drink some water, make some ice cream. You could always do that within the first, at least I would say the first 3 minutes of a Roman Reigns match. You can go and take care of what you need to take care of. When you want to see the entrance, and then once the bell rings, you got at least a good 2-3 minutes before it starts getting into the action. You know what I'm saying? It's that slow burn. And I think what Roman has been doing with the guidance of Paul Heyman is really learning how to tell great stories. Because before then, Roman Reigns wasn't telling good stories in the ring. Not like that. If we keep it if we keep it honest with ourselves, he was not doing that. Mr. Everything. Let me go back to the question I just asked, style wise, and I know I agree with you, LP. I think that Cody Rhodes is a lot more sound in the ring than Roman Reigns. But style wise, Roman Reigns' power versus Cody Rhodes. I want to say sound ability and flexibility in the ring. Who has the advantage going into this fight, style wise?
Definitely Cody is more technical than Roman Reigns, but we got to look at it in terms of their character. Roman Reigns has a character of a brute, like a Brock Lesnar would be. You're not going to get a lot of style, a lot of technical, moves out of a Roman Reigns because really he doesn't need to. His mindset is, I don't need to do all those special moves for you guys. I go in there, I smash, I beat him down, and I go home. And that's how we got to start looking at it. It's like this is what fits his character. Can Roman Reigns get in there and get busy? Yes, because we've seen him do it. But he has the character now and the demeanor that he doesn't have to do these things. Now he's going to have to step it up because Cody Rhodes is going to push him to that extent to where he's going to be like, you know what? I need to pull out something a little bit extra because you got somebody like a Cody Rhodes that you just can't beat down. You just can't keep him down. I mean, the man wrestled 15 to 20-minute match with Seth Rollins with his pectoral torn off the daggone bone. So you're not going to be able to just beat this man down and say, you know what, I beat him. You got to for Roman Reigns' legacy to be cemented, for him to win this match, he has to beat Cody Rhodes on Cody Rhodes' plane. He has to beat him in his style. He has to go in there and be technical with Cody Rhodes. He has to do like the arm bars. He has to do the strong lockups and the chain wrestling and everything else and the grappling. He has to go in there and do these things with Cody Rhodes. If he doesn't, like I said, Cody's a guy that you can't beat down and keep him down. Now, with the Logan Paul thing, what LP mentioned, yes, he did outshine Roman Reigns because he had to. Because no one believed that Logan Paul could stand toe-to-toe with a Roman Reigns. Technically, he can't. He's still brand new to the game. So they had to make him look more technically sound than Roman Reigns in order for people to be like, you know what? I really enjoyed this match. I really believe this match because other than that, Logan Paul didn't have the technical ability to let stand in the ring with Roman Reigns. Now we're going to flip the script. Roman Reigns has to show that he has the technical ability to stand in the ring with Cody Rhodes.
To be honest with you, I don't think Roman needs to prove anything. You know what I'm saying? They keep it a bug with you. Roman doesn't have to prove anything. Roman can Roman can win by a controversial manner like he usually does, and then it'll be okay. We'll move on. We won't feel no kind of way about it. We just know that that's Roman and that's the bloodline and that's how they roll. So I don't think Roman really needs to prove anything as far as his wrestling ability. Cody has to prove that he is good enough.
I don't know about that one because I feel
Cody has to prove that he is good enough to be able to carry the banter of WWE champion. Because even if Cody wins, think about this. Cody will still have to outproduce Roman Reigns in viewership. Cody Rhodes will have to meet certain obligations that Roman Reigns has set the bar extremely high for. Now, Cody is going to run into that situation that Roman ran into when they were thinking about passing the buck over to Roman Reigns from John Cena. And John Cena was looking at Roman like, hey, man, they said you was the guy. They said that you were the next in line. From what I see, it don't look like it. This is called a promo. You're supposed to talk back to me. John Cena ripped him a new one. That essentially made Roman better. But Roman was at that thing was like, damn, cannot take this company to the next level. Business wise.
He can't.
Business wise, Roman has set the bar so high that I don't know who's going to come in after Roman to be able to carry the company in the way that Roman has. When you talk about pay-per-views, you're talking about crossovers, you're talking about merchandise selling. I think Cody right now is probably number one or number two in merchandising. Man, this is kind of crazy. And to be honest with you, Chef, from what you saw, we saw a lot. And even after TV went off, Cody was still talking to the fans, and I'm gonna try to play a little bit of that. I'm not sure if it's going to break up or not. And if it does, fans, please forgive me. But Chef, from Cody's whole in-ring presence on Monday Night Raw, did you get the sense that he is going to take the belt off of Roman Reigns? Chef.
Chef sleep.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, I didn't get that sense. Let me see if I can play this video for you guys, man. Just so you can have an idea of what we were talking about and what we were looking at, man. Where Cody Rhodes was addressing the fans, and hopefully it doesn't break up too bad for you guys. But let's check a look at this real quick.
Boy, did you ever welcome me back. I can't thank you enough. So this is very WrestleMania.
Okay, that sounded absolutely horrible, so I had to change some things about that. I was trying to make it sound good, but it did not. But man, Cody had some things to say, man, and essentially what he was saying was, hey, look, thank you guys for having me and accepting me and welcoming me back into wrestling. And he looked like, after the match, because first of all, let me talk about this. Cody Rhodes defeated the undefeated Solo Sikoa on Monday Night Raw. That's a big thing. I don't know if that really slid past anybody, but he just defeated an undefeated streak. If he does not beat Roman, that should be good enough in my eyes. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna get the belt, but you can beat Solo Sikoa and he's undefeated right now.
One second. Let's talk about that for a second, because he beat Solo Sikoa, but with interruption, with interference and everything. Like, he really had a struggle. If we really look at it, he really had a struggle beating Sikoa. And Sikoa is, he's if you think about it, he's at the bottom of the bloodline. Nothing against the man, nothing to take away from his ability.
What?
But he's at the bottom of the bloodline.
No, he's not.
Roman Reigns is at the top. Huh?
Solo is not at the bottom of the bloodline. He's better than Jimmy and Jay.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. However, if you look at how long he's been in the WWE, how long he's been wrestling, he's sitting at the bottom. He's brand new. He's the new guy. You know what I'm saying? He's the muscle, yeah. He's an enforcer, yeah. But he's the new guy. If you look at it in the standpoint of like a video game, right? And you got Shang Tsung, and you got Goro, and then you got Montaro, and then you got what was the top dude? Shao Kahn. Roman Reigns is Shao Kahn. If you had a struggle getting past Montaro, and what you think you're gonna do with Shao Kahn? So if you had a struggle getting past Solo, what are you really gonna think you're gonna do with a Roman Reigns? And that's not to discredit Cody at all. It's just to look at it in the standpoint of, okay, you really had a struggle. And if it wasn't so much as all that confusion happening with the bloodline and Kevin and Sammy, you probably wouldn't have won. Let's
Well,
just be honest. You probably wouldn't have won. So
if you're gonna say that, then that's the same thing with Roman versus Logan Paul. Did Roman run through Logan Paul? No, he did not.
no, he didn't. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. And then I'm not going to disagree with you. And I think that's the biggest thing with Roman Reigns is like when Brian mentioned of him winning with interference or somebody jumping in, that's going to take away from Roman because he's been talking really big. And at this point, I don't think you really need to have a match where you got somebody jumping in and getting involved for you to win. I think you really need to cement your legacy and say, you know what, I beat you and I beat you by myself. Period. And it won't no interference from Solo. It won't no Usos. It was me and you, 1-on-1, and I beat you and I sent you home crying. If that's the way they're going to do it, that's the way it needs to be done.
Okay, but if you say that, let's look at all Roman wins. If we look back at every Roman win since he's been tribal chief, how many matches has Roman won straight up? Because I can't think of not one. He's a heel, right? Because we talked about this one time before. We said when we talk about Triple H legacy, a lot of Triple H wins came from interference and help. So we can't say that Roman is the man and he got to beat Cody straight up when he don't beat nobody straight up. Roman, this match is gonna have everybody and their mama gonna interfere in this match. So Roman is not gonna see. That's my biggest problem with Roman getting all this credit that he gets because of how they writing him. Roman is a good wrestler. Yes, he's one of the best. I would say he may be one of the best. Yes, is he the best? No, he's not, because Roman wins, but Roman is only Roman because of the bloodline. If you take this tribal chief character without Jimmy, Jay, and Sammy's involvement made the bloodline way more popular. You want to talk about sales? I bet it if you could look at the sales of stuff once Sammy came in and Sammy started popping versus what them sales were before, you can't tell me that them sales did not spike because of Sammy. So Roman is the guy, yes, because that's how he is. But I can't put Roman on this pedestal that people be putting him on because he don't win straight up. You know what I'm saying? Like your boy Austin Theory. Your boy Austin Theory, he beat your boy from the other dude straight up.
He beat both of the Street Profits straight up.
Straight up. So like nobody talking about it. Like he beat them dudes straight up. Everybody act like Montez Ford is the next guy coming up. He got beat straight up. So you don't see that often as a heel. So you got to give him credit. You know what I'm saying? You got to give him credit for that. So yeah, I don't know. Roman.
You know why? You know why he beat them straight up? Because they were a tag team. That's the smoke and mirrors behind it. It's like the fact that he beat them 1-on-1 because they're so used to being a tag team. Now, if you've seen these guys on a singles run for a good minute, then yeah, you're gonna have a problem with Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins. But the fact that they've always been a tag team, where they're always depending on being able to tag out to somebody in the moment that they get in trouble, then if he had a tag partner, yeah, he wouldn't have got that. He wouldn't have got that. But the fact that he did it 1-on-1 is because they are so used to being a tag team. That's the smoke and mirrors part of it.
Man, yeah, man. I don't see a universe in which Roman Reigns does not cheat to win this match, man. And to be honest with you, I know we just talked about Cody and Solo, man. We saw that live, man. The match was really, really good. Cody is a bigger guy than what I pinned him for, man. I think Cody is like 6'2", but he looked ripped in the ring, man. And I was like, yeah, Cody is a lot bigger than what I thought he was. You know what I'm saying? But to be honest, he did struggle against Solo Sikoa. And if we go back to Friday, he struggled against Ludwig Kaiser from who you
He really did.
Imperium.
The Imperium.
He struggled with Ludwig, man. Ludwig is really, really good.
He ain't no scrub.
He is not no scrub. And I think Cody kind of went into it thinking, it's going to be a breeze. Ludwig really out-wrestled Cody Rhodes during that match. Am I tripping? Cool. He really out-wrestled Cody Rhodes. Now, Cody pulled out the win, but he struggled so hard with Ludwig. And that made me think, man, I think Ludwig is he does not get the recognition that he deserves as far as being a technician in the ring, man. But Cody, man, going into this match with Roman Reigns, I don't know. And if on the outside on paper, Cody looks like the guy to win. Cody looks like the guy to take over the company. Cody looks like the guy to put the belt on. I just don't think that the time is now. And I don't think that he will beat the tribal chief at WrestleMania. I don't see it. Because if I'm talking about what does Roman Reigns do after this if he does not win? The bloodline will probably not stay behind Roman. They'll probably get behind Solo or bring other members in if they do not dissolve. Man, this is going to be a tough one, man, but I do not see Cody Rhodes pulling off this win, man. I really see interference, and I see a shocking interference at that. To be honest with you, fellas. Yeah, it's just going to be crazy. Real quick, man, let's get into one of the other matches that I'm excited to see is the Brock Lesnar versus Omos, man, and they didn't weigh in on Monday Night Raw. Omos did the weigh in. He was 7'3", I think 414 pounds or whatever. How much he was over 400, big boy. When I seen Omos, I was like, God, they make dudes that big. What era did you come from, Goliath? Omos is huge, man, and when Omos stood in the ring and Brock Lesnar's music hit, I lost my mind. Brock came down to the ring. Cowboy Brock jumped in the ring. He looked like he was about to do the weigh-in. He turned his head. Omos dropped his guard, and Brock Lesnar attacked. Brock Lesnar hit him, ran against the ropes, tried to run into him again, ran to the ropes again, tripped, got up, and then hit Omos again. Omos just Brock Lesnar turned around to pick up a scale. Omos kicked the shit out of him. He kicked all his teeth to the other side of his mouth, and Brock Lesnar rolled out the ring, and you can see that kick deterred Brock Lesnar from getting back in that ring. Omos picked up the scale like it was nothing and held it over his shoulder like it was a weapon. And I'm like, you know what? If I'm Brock, I'm not getting my ass back in that ring either. You see? I'm not getting in the ring with a giant and he holding a scale like it's a pencil. I'm like, dude, I wouldn't get my ass back in that ring either. I didn't blame Brock Lesnar for walking off and just calling his losses and be like, all right, I'll see you next week. Brock was over here readjusting his jaw because I know that kick hurt. I saw it when it happened. Brothers, how do you feel about this match, Omos versus Brock Lesnar? Do you still have excitement on it? And do you think that Brock can pull off the win against the old giant? I'm about to say almighty. I can't say almighty, but this great giant in Omos. Let me go, Mr. Everything.
Man, listen, I'm excited because we have never seen Brock Lesnar in this predicament where he's running away from a larger opponent. He's been in a ring with Big Show, who is a big dude, and he's still toe-to-toe, nose-to-nose to him like it won't nothing. Omos, I think, has his number. The only problem I see with this is, where do they go with Omos after this? Win or lose, where does he go after this? He has to go after the title, and if he does, what title are they going to send him after? I love Omos, and I really want him to have, the best of everything he deserves, because he is a monster of a man. But I just don't know what they're going to do with him after this. So I'm excited to see what's going to happen. I already know Brock is going to try to suplex Omos is going to keep fighting him off, and he should go in there and demolish Brock Lesnar until he makes a mistake. That's the way this match should go, and I'm excited to see that.
Am I tripping, or is Roman Reigns avoiding the brothers?
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
LP, this is a good topic for you. Do you think Roman Reigns is avoiding the brothers?
Hey, he avoiding them because he know what it is, and everybody else know what it is too. Especially when it comes to Bobby.
Man, when it comes to Bobby and Omos, man, I don't know. I think Roman is kind of ducking and dodging a little bit. Even with Big E, man, Roman, he was kind of dodging E a little bit. Now, I wasn't a big fan of. I love Big E. Don't get me wrong. I just wasn't a big fan of Big E's title run because I thought he could have did a lot more. But man, Omos and Bobby seem like Roman is kind of avoiding that. And if, to be honest with you, if Roman fought Omos, I don't really think that the bloodline will really be a big help in that situation. What do you think, LP?
If what now?
Brock versus Roman versus Omos. Do you think if Roman and Omos ever were to lock up, do you think the bloodline would be a factor in that situation?
Now I like Omos, but I don't think he's ready for that. I think now I will give Roman credit enough that I think Roman will figure out a way to beat him. The difference between Roman and Brock is going to try to power through him, and that's where Brock is going to mess up. And Roman would try to find another way because you just not going to beat that dude straight up, toe to toe. So I really hope that Omos needs to win this match, because if he loses, I know Mr. Everything said if he wins, what's next for him? If he loses, what's next for him? I mean, they already had him lose to what's face Chef Boy, little choo choo train man. What's his name? Yeah. They already had him lose to Braun, even though he dominated Braun in that match, and he should not have lost. Like if they're gonna make him this giant, they gotta make him this giant, and he gotta start killing people. He has not destroyed nobody but like a couple of scrubs. So like he got to beat Brock, and I really hope Brock is gonna be like, look guys, I'm gonna let this guy come up over me like guys have done him. Don't be no John Cena, don't let these new guys come up. Like Brock. I know he ain't got too many more years left. Let this man beat you and become a dominant force so he can have it on his resume.
Yeah. I agree with that, man. I think that the Brock and Omos thing is going to be a lot better than what we think, and I think it's going to be a very short match. But I think that's one of the matches. That one and the Edge and Finn Balor and the Sheamus versus Drew versus Gunther. That's going to be a banger too. So those are my favorite three matches. Before we go into it, they just made it official. We got to talk about the elephant in the room, and that is soggy ass Dominic Mysterio challenged his father to a WrestleMania match. Ray has been saying no for weeks. We have been stating on this podcast that Dominic was going to slap his mama, and he yelled in his mama face, and to Hispanic families, that's just as bad. That will still warrant an ass whooping from somebody. And Ray finally stepped up in honor of his wife, in honor of his daughter, when Dominic Mysterio told his mom to shut up to her face and yelled it in front of everybody. I wanted to take my chunkler off and throw it at the TV. I want to punish Dominic so bad. Hey, me and Chef was waiting on him in the back. Me and Chef was waiting on Dominic ass in the back. Once the fans started, people started leaving. Me and Chef was waiting on him. But it was like, boy, you better not take the wrong road. We're gonna eat your ass up. Disrespecting your daddy like that. Man, so just in general, man, I'm excited to see the Rey Mysterio versus Dominic match. Fellas, real quick, it's happening. How do you guys feel about the Rey versus Dominic? Are you excited to see it? And do you think it's going to be a good match? Let me go, LP.
It's definitely a match that I know I can go to the bathroom or make it happen. Yeah, I can't say I'm excited about it because it'd be different if he actually had skills that match up to his dad. Like, Dom is not that good, so it's not like it's gonna be a brother versus brother match, or where the both of the wrestlers are on the same level. Like Ray's skill set and Dom's skill set are two totally different skill sets. So how can you really get excited? Like, you know, Dom is gonna win some kind of way. He gonna cheat or whatever to win. But
I see Low Blow roll up. I see Low Blow coming with a roll up.
Yeah, it's gonna be something. It's gonna be something dumb. But I'm hoping that this is it, because I think Ray needs to go ahead and retire too. Because like, what else does Ray got going on? I mean, if he's gonna retire, this is the moment to do it, because unless he turns heel, like I noticed how them boys came out and helped them on Monday. That I'm telling y'all, unless Ray turns heel, Ray don't have nothing else left. And they keep on throwing them little fast. I can't even say the damn name. The Hispanic boys.
Legado del Fantasma.
Yeah, I can't never say it. Yeah, so they keep throwing them in the mix for whatever reason. What reason did they have to come out this week? You know what I'm saying? Like, they're in the picture for no reason at all. So they're in the picture for a reason. And I think that is the next beef that's gonna start. Ray, I'm telling you, Ray gonna go on the bloodline. That's gonna be the WrestleMania. That's gonna be the WrestleMania shocker moment.
You said the Judgment Day. He's gonna join the Judgment Day.
I'm sorry. No.
You asking Ray join the bloodline? Hold on, is Ray a distant cousin? What did I miss?
Yeah, that would be shocking. But
that would be very, very shocking, man. Mr. Everything, are you excited to see Dominic versus Rey Mysterio?
Nope, because if Ray don't run through this kid, I don't want to watch it. I'm being completely honest. Like LP said, Dominic does not have the same skill level as his dad. I don't think Dominic's gonna be able to keep up with his dad. Damian Priest couldn't even keep up with Rey Mysterio this past Monday. If you guys was watching, he was kind of a step behind Rey Mysterio. Says a lot. I mean, Damian Priest is a really, really good in-ring performer. Dominic is nowhere near Damian Priest. Dominic is nowhere near Otis at this point. I'm gonna be straight up with you. So if Ray don't run through him, and like you said, I think Dominic's gonna take little shortcuts or whatever. But I'm not really excited about this match. They could have really just did something else a long time ago. If they could have built it up a little bit better, maybe. But at this point, nah, I don't really care about this match.
Yeah, man. I think everybody wants to watch this match to see Dominic get his comeuppance, man. To see Rey Mysterio finally put the paws on him. I think that's what we all are looking. Because when I was in the crowd, the fans booed the hell out of Dominic. Man, he is the most hated man in the WWE, man, in the whole company. To be honest with you, we'll see how this plays out, man. I think it's going to be very, very interesting. Fellas, real quick, let's take a tour outside of the wrestling world real quick, and let's go into the world of entertainment. We're going to jump into a tough talk with LP in a second, man. But on the hot bench, man, your boy Jonathan Majors is really getting a lot of Slack, man, there was a report that came out that he apparently had an altercation with a young lady. I believe it later came out to be proven not true, but Jonathan Majors has been drugged through the media for this apparently false claim that came out against him, man. I want to talk about that real quick. What do you guys think about the Jonathan Majors situation? Matter of fact, let me go to the resident villain of the Best Damn Wrestling Podcast, because I know he got a couple things to say. LP, let's speak on this Jonathan Majors situation, man. What do you think about it?
Oh man, well, I mean, I think it's messed up. Well, first of all, I know all the news has not came out yet, so I think sometimes, when we got media outlets or we got platforms, people want to talk about stuff before all the information is out. But from the information that I have seen, it has said that there's a lot of footage that proves that the man didn't do it. My biggest issue is that these guys, celebrities, or even us regular guys, a person could put an allegation out on you, and before anybody has any proof, they start taking endorsement. You might get fired. You might get in so much trouble before anybody has even done anything. This man was on the top of the world. Creed just came out. He about to be the next big thing and big villain. He playing several people in Marvel. He got movie after movie coming up. This one allegation dropped, and then all of a sudden it's like, let's take this away. Or people, I knew it. It's like people want to see people fail, and I think that's the worst part about it. If the man did it, he deserves anything that comes with that. But you always got we was always raised with you're guilty until proven innocent. That don't work no more. Not with this cancel culture mess. Like, look at Johnny Depp. Look at all the stuff that Johnny Depp went through, and the woman lied, and all this stuff with Amber Heard. Johnny Depp got kicked out of movies. He lost so many other contracts and stuff, and the woman lied. So that's my biggest issue with all of it, is just make sure that you get proof before any judgment is made. Like, period.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you on that, man. They started to crucify this man for his involvement or lack thereof, man. And you're right. He went to social media court before he even got judged and juried in the real court about the situation, man. Mr. Everything, let's speak on this real quick, man. How do you feel about the Jonathan Majors situation?
It's just like LP said, we got to start getting all the information first. Now, I totally understand, and I sympathize and empathize with women who go through situations of domestic violence and battering, but men do too. And that's something that we don't let a lot of the public and the media don't talk about, is when men go through the same things. When we get involved in domestic violence, where we're the victims and we're being beaten on, because men are supposed to be strong and they're supposed to be able to take things and know how to defend themselves and all this other jazz. But sometimes that ain't always the case. And then you have somebody like Jonathan Majors, who, like LB said, is on top of the world right now. He's doing so many good things, and you look at some of his interviews, and the man talks very highly of his faith and his mother and his upbringing and everything else. So I really feel like, and in the media, you still got to start getting all the evidence first. And the thing that bothers me, and it bothers LP as well, is the fact that when this story came out about him supposedly or allegedly doing these things, everybody jumped on it. Everybody shared it. Everybody talked about it. The moment that I didn't even know that he was proven to not even have, like, it wasn't even true until LP posted it. And it's like, oh wow, where's all the media, uproar? Where's all the posts? Where's all the shares and everything else? Like, the man is you know what I'm saying? He's pretty much innocent of this situation. So where's everybody talking about it now? And that's the bad thing about men, but mostly black men, who's becoming successful. And as somebody wants to say, the worst the first thing that comes to mind, the worst thing. And I tell professional wrestlers all the time, the greatest thing you do in the world, a handful of people know. But the moment that you do something wrong or something bad gets tied to your name, the entire world is going to know it. And everybody's going to jump on it. It's going to become a wildfire of ridiculousness. So, Jonathan Majors, we got your back, bro. If you are completely innocent of everything, I got to say that because we can't.
I'll say, don't volunteer me for that.
Yeah, we can't just jump on and say, the man. But if he is proven completely innocent, you got a good community behind you. But in the event that you are not, we need to find a way to get this man some help.
Yeah, man. I was sad to hear that, man, and I was kind of happy that it was debunked a little bit. But I hate to see things like that happen, man, because you get drugged through the mud in your name. Especially if you're a working professional, your name gets drugged through the mud, and that affects everything else that you have going on. Like you said, Jonathan Majors, man, he's done a lot of things. And to be honest with you, Jonathan Majors has been the go-to guy ever since Chadwick Boseman passed. You know what I'm saying? I think Jonathan Majors has had a lot of roles. Him and what's your boy? Creed.
Michael B. Jordan.
Michael B. Jordan. Yeah. So, when you a black man in Hollywood, Jack, you got to walk. you got to walk. Super careful, man. Pay attention to what you got going on, man. Because it's hard to keep a good reputation nowadays. You know what I'm saying? For sure. Fellas, let's go to the genie of the Best Damn Wrestling Podcast, man. This past week, man, there's been a brand new movie came out. So we got to go to the resident villain of the Best Damn Wrestling Podcast and give some honest reviews from your boy LP. Beautiful people, prepare yourself for LP's Tough Talk.
Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my!
Oh man, so we're gonna talk about current movies. We'll do this real quick. The last movie I seen was John Wick 4, which is a masterpiece in film. Even if you have never seen a John Wick film, you definitely need to go see this movie. It is beautiful. Action, storylines, visuals, everything is great about John Wick. So definitely go check this out. But on the side note, I'm not very angry about that. What I want to talk about, since we have not talked about it and we did not get a chance to talk about it, we're going to rewind a little bit and we're going to go back until the last movie I saw before that, which was Black Panther 2, which had Angela Bassett being nominated for an award that she got snubbed for at the Oscars, because we didn't talk about that. So let's talk about that, shall we? I'm going to try to keep my voice together as I'm about to pass out because I'm sick, but I'm going to say it anyway. So first of all, everybody know that Angela Bassett deserved that award. No, she deserved awards after awards after award, but this was her year to win it. So the Oscars decided to give it to Jamie Lee freaking Friday Curtis. Now, I like Jamie Lee Curtis. I would definitely not say anything bad about Jamie Lee Curtis. But did she deserve to win that role? Hell no, she did not deserve to win that role. They decided to give Jamie Lee Curtis this freaking award just because she's old and she's Jamie Lee Curtis. Like, there was no other reason to give her this award. I don't know if you guys have seen the movie Everything Everywhere All at Once. It is a perfect, one of the best movies of the year, hands down. Was it better than Black Panther? I would honestly say it was better than Black Panther. That movie is great. But if anybody deserved the Oscar that was not the main female that won her Oscar in supporting was Stephanie, I can't think of her name. The girl who played her daughter should have won. If anybody should have won, not no daggone Jamie Lee Curtis. Jamie Lee Curtis was in one of the worst movies of the year in that damn Halloween movie that came out. So she definitely should not even been nowhere close after that bullshit when they put Michael Myers in the movie and made him a sidekick and made him an old decrepit old man who was barely in the damn movie. Don't even get me started on that. I ain't got the energy to get on that movie. But the thing is that I'm not gonna make it a racial thing and no stuff like that. I'm not gonna do that. Maybe they didn't want 3 Asians to win those top 3 categories. I'm not gonna say that. Maybe they didn't want the black woman to win this award that she earned it a bunch of times. I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna make it. Maybe the fact that Jonathan Majors got so much slack for allegation when your boy Dana White was slap boxing his wife in the club on live video freaking cameras, and nobody seen the cat eyes. It's no big deal. You know, Dana White got no repercussions when his fighters, when they do one little thing, he'll suspend them for the damn life or ban them. This man was literally slap boxing his wife in the club. He was hitting her to the beats. He literally hit her to like boom boom cap, boom boom cap. He was slapping her to the beat of the song and didn't get in no freaking trouble. So I'm not gonna make it racial because sometimes it seems like we always make things racial. I don't want to be that guy that says things are racial when they're not necessarily racial. But sometimes you just got to look at things because as a black man, which I am, it seems like we get looked and judged upon very differently in a lot of different situations. Maybe it's just me, but you know, this is a wrestling show, so you know we'll keep the energy because hopefully Bianca will keep her belt and she won't lose to an Asian come WrestleMania. y'all can edit that last part. But yeah, for real, we gotta start paying attention to how we are done and how we are judged very differently, and we gotta start speaking out when we are judged differently, and we know it.
Woo! I told y'all it's gonna be a little hot. LPZ, thank you for that tough talk, sir. You always find a way to make my ass itch a little bit. I appreciate that. Thank you, sir, for that tough talk. Oh man, it's been a lot of matches that happened this week. So we got to go to the resident wrestler of the Best Damn Wrestling Podcast. And we have to ask Mr. Everything, what was your match of the week?
Like you said, there's been a lot of good matches of this week. But I think for me, and I'm not trying to speak for anybody else, but for me, the match of the week has to go to Cody and your boy from Imperium. Because it was a match that no one really saw, that we never really thought about we wanted to see. But when we saw it, we was like, this right here is something serious. And we don't really see the guys from Imperium wrestling singles matches. We see them doing tag team stuff, or we see them standing behind Gunther and while he does his thing. But that match was a very good eye opener for me in terms of the guy that wrestled. I can't even say his name. What is his name?
Ludwig.
Yes, Ludwig.
You gotta put a spit in your mouth.
Yeah, put all that spit in it. Ludwig.
Stuff in his face. Yeah.
Yeah, when it's one of those matches that when you see it, like, I did not know I wanted to see that. So they really did put on a really good clinic, and I hope to see more from Ludwig as he grows in this business. So you guys get the Best Damn Wrestling Podcast match of the week.
All right. Yeah, like we spoke on it earlier, man, that Ludwig versus Cody was really good, surprisingly good. And I think that opened a lot of people's eyes up to Ludwig. I've been following him since NXT, man, and his days in NXT UK or the UK NXT. So when he came over to regular NXT and then over to main roster, man, he has a lot to prove. And I think when they take the reins off of him and they let him go, I think they're going to really be surprised at what Ludwig Kaiser can actually do. Giovanni Vinci, he's really good. And right before he came up to main roster, they actually split Imperium up. And Ludwig and Gunther came up to main roster. Giovanni Vinci, he stayed behind and started developing his character, and eventually came up to main roster to join Imperium. But Ludwig really opened up a lot of eyes, man, and I think he's going to be a superstar in the future, man. Once they take the reins off him and let him really develop his character, I think he's going to be really good. So, sir, thank you for that match of the week.
Hey, I got a question right quick.
Yeah.
I want to ask all three of y'all the same question. Do y'all think that some of these tag teams are holding some of these solo guys back? Because we said the same thing about Street Profits. You're saying the same thing about Imperium. If you look at some of the tag teams, that some of these guys that are really good that don't get the shine because they're tag teams or they're, behind a bigger star. Do you think the tag teams are holding some of these guys back, and maybe they should break up some of these tag teams?
I'm not going to say that because I know there was a period of time on the podcast when we were complaining that there were no tag teams, and that the tag team division was not getting love. So I'm happy to see these tag teams, man. I just wish that they had more to fight for, with the Usos having both belts, man, and really defending them definitively, man. I like to see the tag teams. I just don't like makeshift tag teams. Like Becky Lynch and Lita is a makeshift tag team to me. Sami Zayn and KO, although they've been tag team for a long time, this kind of seems kind of makeshift because they have not been on the same page at all within the last 2 years. So to see Sami Zayn and KO get this over the rest of the tag teams that's on the actual roster, man, I would feel some kind of way, to be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? But, you got to let the storyline play out. Ricochet and Strowman, that's probably the tag team that's really thrown together. But they work in a lot of ways, and they're a really good team together, and they are entertaining. You don't like it? You don't like it?
Hey,
Ask Chef that question.
Ask Chef,
Chef, do you think that some of these tag teams need to break up, man, or do you like the state of tag team division right now?
I think that's a hard question. No, they all should stay together. To me, they should stay together. Like, it's certain, you can see certain teams they have an exploding person, and have a person that's like, I'm just gonna be here just to be the tag. Like Street Profits. Montez Ford is amazing. You feel me? He has the moves to be a great solo person. But if he leaves Dawkins is going to get kicked back to NXT or AEW, and it's going to be, they're going to break up a brotherhood.
Yeah, and I know we spoke about the separation of the Street Profits before. I don't want to see it. They look like they are splitting Alpha Academy up. Otis is rapidly becoming a thing, and I knew it kind of was when they started hitting at it. I don't really want him to join the other two soggy dudes. But to be honest with you, Otis would be good for that faction. And he does need something a little bit new, man, because Alpha Academy is getting a little stale. Unless with Alpha Academy they bring up the Creed brothers and put the Creed brothers with Chad Gable, I think that they're going to be a force to be reckoned with if that does happen. But, the Viking Raiders are a great team. The Street Profits are a great team. Alpha Academy are a great team, man. And I don't want to see them really break up a lot of tag teams. I just want to see the tag teams make sense. And to be honest with you, I would love to see the Usos not split the belt, because I love when the Usos are on the product. But I would want to see them compete more like they were a couple of weeks back, right before things started getting hot and heavy with WrestleMania. I want to see them compete more after WrestleMania for just their dominant reign that they've had lately, man. Mr. Everything, what do you think about the state of the tag team division?
That's one of the things that we always talk about, where we say one superstar outshines the other in the tag team. And we find that out whenever we have singles competition within these top tag teams. Um, should they break up some of these tag teams? No, absolutely not, because we need tag team wrestling. As well as why would be the purpose of having tag team belts. But a lot of these guys do kind of get shadowed because they're in a tag team. Like we said, Montez Ford is one of those guys. Ludwig is one of those guys who who is being shadowed because he's in a tag team who can go out there and really get busy by himself. Think about Shelton Benjamin and Cedric. You know, both of these guys are shadowed because they're in a tag team. They're not even doing anything in a tag team aspect. So why not break these two guys up and let them go for singles runs? The only problem is we have enough singles titles, just not enough singles storylines to be able to make a lot of these guys who can go out there and shine by themselves be able to shine, because you got so many singles competitors that are really sitting in catering and just eating, spaghetti and fettuccine and, some of the chef's super secret sauce and everything else. So we gotta, I think we don't need to break up the tag teams. We just need to be able to have them be able to compete a lot more. Let's have a tag team tournament. Let's have like the Cruiserweight Classic. Let's have a tag team classic. We haven't had that yet.
Just thinking about the Cruiserweight division, man, and how I used to love the Cruiserweight. And I don't know why they did away with that belt, even when they dropped it down to NXT. I thought that they needed that belt on NXT to have a little bit more entertainment. I don't understand that whole dropping that belt particular. But you're right. I don't think that they need to dissolve any of the tag teams, but what they need to do is bring the tag team division up so that there's more excitement around the tag team division, because I definitely want to see competitors. I don't want to see a situation like we had not too long ago when they were trying to figure out teams and put people together, and you kept seeing the Usos defend the belts against the same people because there were no real, other tag teams other than the Street Profits and the Viking Raiders and Alpha Academy. So I want to see more.
What are they fighting for?
Go ahead, Mr.
Quick question. Would you guys be mad if they did a complete tag team division show, kind of like the Cruiserweight, like 205 Live? That would be very interesting, in my opinion. If they did a whole show wrapped around tag team wrestling, that might be interesting. It's never been done before.
Go ahead, Epi.
I think it'll be dope, but I've always felt like Vince never believed in tag teams like that. I don't know how Triple H feels about it, but I think they would look at it, would people watch it, which I think they would. But that's like, what are those guys wrestling for at WrestleMania? Are they wrestling for a title shot? Or they wrestling for what? What is that thing they got? Y'all them in there.
Well, you're talking about the men's Fatal 4-Way tag team. And that might be on night one, if I'm not mistaken. They got one for the women too, the women's Fatal 4-Way tag team. And you're right. I don't know what this is for. Do they get a title match on night two? What's happening with that? I don't even know what this is about. You're right, LP. Now that I think about it. Go ahead.
I think it's for a future tag team title, opportunity.
That's dumb.
They haven't really said anything. But at the same time, we can sit here and say it's dumb, but it's giving the tag teams an opportunity to do something. So, we were just talking about how we don't have the tag teams doing anything. Now they have something to do. So hopefully it is a chance for them to have an opportunity at the tag team titles, which, we've been alluding to. They've been trying to separate the tag titles. Raw has theirs and SmackDown has theirs. So that's going to give you, it's going to give you more chance for the tag teams to be able to do something other than become makeshift and just wrestling anybody.
Yeah, but Kevin Owens and Sammy, they fighting for both belts, right? Because I didn't hear them separate them.
Yeah, they're fighting for both.
Yeah.
I think to be able to separate them, you would have to do like a ladder match where two teams both end up grabbing separate belts, and then there's the split. There, I don't see any other way of being able to do it.
One time they had a match. They had a match against somebody, and they was on the wrestling for one of the belts because actually they only had one. I can't remember. That's the match where when Sammy took the place of Jimmy. They won't wrestle for both. They won't wrestle for both them belts. Can you remember?
Yeah.
Even when they won, Sammy held up one belt.
Yeah.
They've
Yeah,
had
for the Raw titles.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they've had situations where they will fight for the SmackDown belt on SmackDown and then fight for the Raw belt on Raw. They've had those situations before. We'll see. I love tag team wrestling. I've always been a fan of tag team wrestling. I don't want to see them break up any teams. If anything, I want to see new makeshift teams come up and just see how that goes, man. I want to see who they pair with Ali, man. I think Ali paired with somebody, they can make a really good tag team.
That dude about to get fired.
Hey, man, y'all sleep on Mustafa Ali, Positive Ali. Y'all sleep on Mustafa Ali, but Mustafa Ali is so good in the ring. And to be honest with you, and we're going to get into this, but I think Mustafa Ali is one of the top sale guys in the company. I think Mustafa Ali, Ricochet, and Dolph Ziggler are the top guys that sell moves currently right now on this roster. And they sell it so good. So I think I want to see more from Mustafa Ali, but I really want them to keep the tag team division strong and up and running. Even if Sammy and KO win the belts, I want to see new teams step up. I want to see new dynamics after WrestleMania because the tag team division needs to be protected at all cost. Oh man, fellas, before we end the show, man, we had a gift from Mr. Everything as he goes out and about in the wrestling world, speaks to wrestlers and fighters all alike. We have an interview with Mr. Everything. Beautiful people, it is time for Mr. Everything. Interviews, everybody.
Ladies and gentlemen, the best damn wrestling podcast. This is Mr. Everything with
The best damn wrestling podcast.
The best damn wrestling podcast with Ring of Honor superstar Rhett Titus. Rhett, thank you for coming on. Thank you for doing this interview for me real quick.
Hey, it's my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Not a problem, not a problem. So, who influenced you into getting into professional wrestling? And then give me a dream match.
Oh, man. It's a hard question, because I've been watching wrestling for a really long time. I've been wanting to wrestle for a really long time. So there was definitely different generations of when I would be watching wrestling and when I wanted to be a wrestler. And sometimes when you think, it's not really going to happen, But, man, I started going to wrestling shows, young kid. First time ever going to the ECW arena, I was 6 years old, so it was like, a show in 1994, ECW 94, forever, and so I always wanted to get into wrestling, but after, ECW went out of business, wrestling wasn't that cool anymore, it was just kind of like, whatever, and then my brother-in-law was like, hey, there's this new company coming out, it's called Ring of Honor, we should go check it out, it's probably going to be a pretty good show. I was like, wrestling, I've seen all these indie shows, and it's the same old. It's like, well, Steve Corino and Eddie Guerrero are going to be there. I was like, let's go, we're going, yeah. So, and then I went, and I saw what Ring of Honor was, and I was like, wow, this isn't like some silly show. This isn't sports entertainment. This is wrestling as a sport. And, I'd always wanted to be a professional wrestler, but had I not gone to that first Ring of Honor show, I don't know if I ever would have actually followed through. Because I was like, man, these guys, I'm bigger than them. All right, I can do this. And then just the intensity and the athleticism, and I was just turned on to it all. And I was like, this is where I gotta be. So, to try to narrow it down to one person is very hard. But I would just say that Ring of Honor influenced me into getting into wrestling.
And then you became a Ring of Honor
Oh,
star.
A lot of people have like dreams and aspirations of like WrestleMania, and, all these other things, but I just always wanted to wrestle for Ring of Honor,
Right.
So
Right.
and I think.
No, that's fine. You're fine.
Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I think we're like 17 years into wrestling for Ring of Honor, so. It's
Awesome.
it's a blessing,
Absolutely. So give us a quick dream match.
Dream match. Well, somebody we might have seen tonight at the show. We were at a show tonight, and there was one Kerry Morton here, and he was teaming with Ricky Morton. And if I can get my hands on that Ricky Morton, a little one-on-one action, that is my current dream match.
All right. Well, we got this Ring of Honor superstar, Red Titus, Mr. Everything. Back to you guys with the Best Damn Wrestling Podcast.
Oh man, thank you, Mr. Everything. Can you talk for a second about your interview, my friend?
Absolutely. So I've known Rhett for a very long time. You guys know, or some of you that may not know, I used to do ring crew with Ring of Honor. It's kind of like, it's like a paying your dues, trying to get your foot in the door type of deal. And he was one of those guys that would come up to you and chop it up with you and hold conversations, like try to get to know you, see what you were about. He was always been a great dude. Him and Kenny King, a lot of these guys, Caprice Coleman, a lot of those guys, Jay Lee, would always, hold conversations with you. He's always been a great guy. Every time you see him in the locker room, he's always smiling. He's always willing to come up and say, hey, man, how you been? What's been going on? How's the family? So anything I can do for Red Titus and anything he can do for me in the same boat has always been a mutual thing. He's an amazing talent. I'm glad to see him back on Ring of Honor TV now. And there's been a moment where I was like, oh, what are they doing with you, bro? Like, you're in here with the extra talent. You're supposed to be out there with the superstars. And I'm glad to see that he's back out there doing what he's supposed to be doing. So, Red, we appreciate you coming through for the Best Damn Wrestling Podcast and hope to see you soon. And hopefully, hope to see him in the ring one day. So, anything's possible. Everything is possible. So, we'll see what happens.
Everything is possible. We and Mr. Everything. Huh? You like that? Huh? You like that, boy? Yeah, take it. I like that. Yeah, you can use that as a promo. Everything is possible with Mr. Everything. Yeah.
I got you.
Thank you, sir, for that interview, man. If you guys want to check out more interviews from the Best Damn Wrestling Podcast, just go on our pages and you can see some of the other interviews that we have. We just interviewed the great Ricky Morton. And so whenever you guys get a chance to go and check that out, we got more stuff coming for you. Mr. Everything does everything, man. He is the plug, Jack. You know what I'm saying? So if you want to check out more wrestlers, if you want to check out more fighters, if you want to see what else we got going on, you go and check out our page, and I'm going to show you the rundown of all our social media so you can go and support the show. Fellas, it's been a great show. Real quick, let the beautiful people know what you got going on and where can they find you. Chef, what's that?
Right now, all I'm doing is getting ready to open back up my little kitchen. Showtime kitchen, cooking, working, and take care of my boys. That's it. That's all. But you can find me on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and Snapchat at Dante Carter or Chef Showtime.
Oh man, go check out Chef, man. If you got some recipes that you need, if you got a date night coming up, you want to impress your lady. If you got in-laws coming in and they think that you can't cook, well, just go over to the Best Damn Wrestling Podcast page and Chef got you. He got all the tasty recipes for your pleasure. So check out Chef and what he got going on all of his pages. If you want a hot plate, hit up Chef. He got you. And so, Chef Showtime, thank you, my friend, for first of all, Monday was a blast. And then thank you for doing your thing each and every week on the Best Damn Wrestling Pod. Absolutely. Mr. Everything, what you got going on and where can the people find you?
Oh man, so this Friday I will be in Princeton, West Virginia for PWL. I will be taking on Sean Cruz. Next Saturday I will be in Nashville, North Carolina for Max Pro Wrestling under the banner of MATW. It will be me and Dustin Starr. And then April 17th. That's all I'm going to say. But if you look on the calendar, you'll see what April 17th is. That's all I'm going to say for right now. But just be sure to look on your calendar and mark down April 17th, because you just might have a big Mr. Everything surprise. We don't know yet. We'll see what happens. But you guys can follow me on Instagram and TikTok, official_Mr. Everything, or follow me right here on Facebook, Roosevelt Conyers, or Mr. Everything, Victor Andrews on my fan page. Go to the fan page. I got too many people on the regular page. Go to the fan page. You see a whole lot more. And I just got my LLC, guys. I'm excited. I just got my LLC, so I am now the businessman, Mr. Everything. Just stacking them up, brother. Stacking them up. Mr. Everything starting to do everything. Starting to own everything. So I'm out here, bro. I'm out here. I'm outside. That's all I got to say. I'm outside.
Well, claps and taps all around, sir. Claps and taps. Congratulations on your LLC, sir. That's good. If I ever need a pallet moved, I know who to call. My man, Mr. Everything, Victor Andrews. LPZ, let the people know what you got going on and where can they find you.
Oh man, it's everything, man. Just doing photo shoots, fashion show coming up. Everything you can find on my Instagram. Shout out to Mr. Everything, what you got going on? Congratulations. Shout out to Chef. Chef, next time you meet a celebrity, make sure you give him a business card. Tell him you could be Kevin Owens' personal chef. Huh. You should have slid him your business card and been like, if you get back in town, I am a personal chef. I will give you all the raw meat you want. So yeah. And the next time y'all go to Raw, I want to see some best damn posters in the background or something. Did y'all make any posters?
You know, I started to, but we was on the other side. So we was hard camera side. So they wouldn't show us anyway. But the next time, I know I got my places I want to sit. I want to sit right behind Corey Gray so I can talk shit to him. Or I want to sit on the other side where they usually show the fans on the opposite side of hard camera. So but we were close by the entrance way. We were close. We had good seats, but we were close by the entrance way on the other side. But I got you next time. There's gonna be some best damn everything up.
Yeah, I haven't been to a live wrestling show in years, man. It's been years. Good Lord, it's been a long time.
Well, you know they come to Carolina all the time, man. So you might want to make some arrangements.
Yeah. They had an NXT house show not too long ago. I saw some people talking about it. I just got to get back in the loop. Yeah, maybe one day we all four can go to one. I don't know what it's gonna be. I ain't never been to WrestleMania. I mean, I've always wanted to go, but I know it's expensive as hell. But I still want to go to WrestleMania one.
Yeah. Oh, it's in the works. We go. Matter of fact, if God willing, maybe we can all go next year. I would love to go to a WrestleMania. I felt like Monday Night Raw here in Phoenix was the closest thing other than me going to LA. So that's why I went to this show. But man.
Yeah, y'all got a Raw before WrestleMania, so that's pretty big.
Yeah, it's pretty decent.
Y'all saw Solo Sikoa lose. I mean, that was like lose his match. What's another big moment that happened Monday? They're probably the biggest that y'all you really can go back later on and say I saw Solo Sikoa losing first match.
To me, that was a big moment. That was a big moment because he did lose his undefeated streak to Cody Rhodes too. I know they got the sting a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So I was able to see that.
You didn't get to see the Tribal Chief though, but y'all still saw everybody else.
I've seen Roman a couple times before, so I like his intros. We got to see the Usos. We knew the Usos were coming out, but I've seen Roman a couple times before, so
Real quick. Who did y'all boo? Keep it real. Who did y'all boo? Did y'all boo anybody?
I booed soggy ass Dominic. You know I booed his ass. Boo! Get out of here.
Boo the shit out of Dominic.
Man, I booed it. Man, we were booing. If I played the video, you would hear me booing above the whole entire crowd. I booed his sorry slug ass all the way from the top of the stage to the bottom of the ring. He got it from me, Jack. Other than that, I don't think I really booed nobody else. I just booed Dominic soggy ass. That was about it.
Dominic. And I booed Gunther. I don't like Gunther. I booed Gunther.
Come on, man. You took the hater.
Now, Chef, I ain't hear you booing Gunther because you was too busy saying, ooh. Every time he had a chop.
I was too busy saying Dolph Ziggler's dead because he was chopping the shit out of his chest.
He was chopping wood, Jack. Man, hey, listen, I thought he knocked Dolph Ziggler tooth out, but Dolph always got gum. That's why I said he one of the best button guys in the business. Dolph always got gum. That first chop with Gunther, only thing you seen was a piece of white gum it just flew. I was like, oh man, hey, that Gunther chop got to be baptism in pain, Jack.
I would like to see him have one more run though, man. They have made him an official jobber. Like I want to see him, The Miz, maybe Drew, maybe even Sheamus, some of the guys that was popping around the same hair have like you remember the Main Street Mafia, the Main Event Mafia that they had in TV? I would love to see them, like some of those guys, just get one more run, man, because that's why, just like we talk about, like Sheamus probably winning the belt, blah, 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 but like Dolph just gets beat. He ain't won a match against nobody. Like every time somebody new call him out, Dolph gonna lose. So like let him get one more shot.
New coming out. Dolph has been the bump guy or the rebound guy for a long time. I remember when he was the rebound guy against Goldberg when Goldberg had that horrible showing with The Undertaker. And they had to get Goldberg back into it to show how strong he was. And of course, Dolph Ziggler was his first victim. He cut Dolph in half. And then after that, he had a little feud with Bobby. And then, Bobby let Goldberg go over. Why? I don't know. But yeah, man, I would love to see Dolph back at it again, brother. For sure.
Quick question. Where is Robert Roode?
That is a good question.
I thought he was at
I haven't seen Robert Roode in a while, man. I think he's still injured, if I'm not mistaken. But I'm getting pissed because, like I talked about earlier, man, I haven't seen AJ Styles in a while, and I don't know what the hell going on with AJ. Like, don't play with my man like that. He's the one that's the best on the roster. Give AJ a belt of some sort, and he gonna put him in show.
They haven't even said if he hurt or nothing. He just gone.
He just took. AJ quit on his day off. I don't know, man. I hope to see AJ back, man, and I hope to see a lot of people back that we haven't seen. Like I said, we just saw the Good Brothers on TV on Monday, so hopefully they get to wrestle some matches real quick, man.
Anybody got any? Everybody get one prediction of somebody that's going to be a surprise showing at Mania. So this is the last show before Mania.
I got one for you.
Who that?
I think that Randy Orton is going to come back at Mania, and I think that Randy Orton is going to interfere in the Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes match. And I think that Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton will be the match for WrestleMania. What is the Backlash? Or it's going to be the match for SummerSlam. if Randy Orton comes back, I've seen reports of him coming back, and I'm thinking like, where would they fit Randy Orton? How would they even do that? And what would make sense? And it would make sense for me if he interfered in the Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes match and then had a beef with Cody. I think they could have a really great feud together, and I think that that he would take Cody to the next level.
I would love to see Randy Orton and Gunther.
Listen, the man just had back surgery. He just repaired his whole back. You want him to lose some vertebrae fighting Gunther big ass?
You want him to fight You want him to fight Cody? Him and Cody have a damn hell of a match. I don't want to see Randy. I want to see Randy come back, but I don't want to see Randy come back. And I need him to have an easy match when he first come back. He don't need no damn him versus Cody match. That's gonna be a classic.
Classic.
Unless he coming back to finally retire or something. Like, nah, I don't want to. Lord knows, I would love to see Randy. I mean, that sounds great though, what you said, but it depends on what kind of status is Randy. I ain't even been looking on Randy Twitter or nothing lately neither, so I don't even know. I think, it sounds nobody wants to see it, but I think Goldberg or Stone Cold is going to show up in some form or fashion. Not to say they're going to continue anything, but I think both of them will show up for. One of them is going to show up for something. I just don't know what it is.
The Rock.
I don't think The Rock will show up, and if The Rock does show up, he'll do something like "Welcome to WrestleMania" type shit. He ain't gonna like wrestle nobody or get into no feuds or anything like that.
I will say this. I don't know how much you guys been keeping up with it, but ever since Black Adam bombed, The Rock is no longer as popular as he was because more information has came out about how The Rock blocked a lot of stuff with a lot of these films. The Rock was the one who blocked the crossover at the end of Shazam. The guy that plays Shazam, Zachary Levi, he been dropping bombs left and right, man. So everybody been saying, Vin Diesel been like, I told y'all The Rock is a franchise killer. It's came out the fact that The Rock has taken over franchises and then messed them up. When Brandon Fraser, he had a Center of the Earth movie, The Rock took it over, it bombed. Your boy Channing Tatum had the G.I. Joe movie, The Rock took it over, it bombed. So like then the whole thing with Fast and Furious. So right now, The Rock is not as popular as he was. That last movie he had bombed with the little ferry boat mess. The Black Adam bomb. So The Rock is gonna come back soon, whether it's WrestleMania or SummerSlam, because that's the one place The Rock can go and still be popular, right?
Right.
The Rock is getting attacked left and right from different people. So I don't know about Mania. It's gonna be Mania or SummerSlam, but The Rock is going to show up. I agree with Chef. I don't like to agree with Chef, but I do agree with Chef. It is a chance that he's going to show up very soon because he needs his fans.
Oh man, I can kind of see that. And to be honest with you, The Rock got a lot of stuff going on, man. If not even with the movies and stuff that he has going on, he got the XFL that's popping right now, and that's been getting some pretty good reviews. We'll see at the end of the season how everything kind of holds up and how are they competing with the USFL and the NFL. So we'll see. We'll see how those numbers go, and then that'll kind of determine if we'll see The Rock at SummerSlam. To be honest with you, unless he got something else going on. But you brought up a good point, LP, that I didn't think about. Once The Rock did get his hands on a couple of franchises, you're right. They didn't do well after that. Damn, I hate to say it, but you are completely, now that I think about it, you're kind of right.
Man, he a franchise killer, and I didn't think about it neither until people started bringing it up. Then I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
wait a damn minute. Hold on. You know what I'm saying? Man, I never thought that The Rock would be a franchise killer. The same could be said about John Cena in some instances. But man, I'm gonna have to take a hard look at that LP and really see how the franchises or how the movies did after The Rock kind of take it over. Man, that's a hard pill to swallow, Jackie. You know, that's to me, that's the greatest of all time. So I don't talk down on the great one too often. But you know what I'm saying? We'll see.
Oh, I'm a huge Rock fan, but he been doing stuff in Hollywood, man. That just it's coming out.
Yeah, man. LP, you got your fashion show coming up. Tell the people about it real quick. Where they can go to get tickets, where they can go and check it out. You got the Renaissance up and cracking. Go ahead, sir.
Yes, April 23rd. Doors open at 12 o'clock. It's at the Durham Armory in Durham, North Carolina. It's the Renaissance Fashion Show. We got live music, live bands, crazy fashion. We got some of everything. If you just like fashion or you just like to support events in general, definitely come out. Kids show starts at 2 o'clock and the main show starts at 3 p.m.
All right. So if you haven't got your tickets already, go and check out the Renaissance Fashion Show from your boy, L.P. Dada. Thank you, Peasy. My name is Brian Renegade. You can follow me on all platforms at Brian Renegade. I got some stuff cracking. You can check out the food reviews that I do. You can check out my new podcast that's about to come out called Ain't That Autism, where we explore the unknowns of autism and work with real industry professionals to give tips and tricks and information on how to get resources for your loved ones. So whenever you get a chance, just go on my page and check that out, and you can see what I got going on. And of course, every Wednesday you can check us, all of your boys, out on the Best Damn Wrestling Podcast each and every week. Fellas, you know we do this thing, man. Let's get a word of the day for the beautiful peoples. Mr. Everything, sir, what is your word of the day?
All right, so the Mr. Everything word of the day is going to be: don't complain about it if you're not going to be able to, if you're not going to do the work to change it. Ain't nobody want to listen to you complain if you're not going to do the work to change it. So don't complain about it if you're not going to do the work to change it.
I know that's right. Don't talk about it, be about it. That's a beautiful word from Mr. Everything. Chef Showtime, do you have a word of the day or a word of advice for the beautiful people?
Yes, I do. This is for LP. All right. When nothing's going right, go left.
All right now. When nothing's going right, go left. All right. LPZ, do you have a word of advice for the beautiful people?
Oh man, yeah. Just always stay positive, no matter what it is. Stay your course. Don't let nobody take you away. If you got one of the craziest ideas or one of the baddest ideas, like if you're a Braun Strowman fan and you stay to supporting him, and everybody else knows you stay the course. Stay the course and get on the back of that train when he runs around the ring, and you'll get to your destination sooner or later. Just keep going, man. Just keep going.
Oh man. Beautiful word from your boy, LPZ. I'm going to just keep it simple. You know, I usually get all deep and philosophical and therapist-like, but I'm just going to tell everybody, you know, this is what my lady asked me this morning. She said, what did you like about waking up today? And my answer to her was waking up. It was simple to me. The fact that I woke up this morning and I'm able to talk to you guys, and I'm able to give inspiration to people that look for it, that I'm able to give advice if people come to me, that I'm able to let the man upstairs speak to me and speak through me during certain situations. I'm appreciative of just waking up and being alive and being able to be here in the moment, present, to be able to enjoy the many blessings that God has given us. So for me, is appreciate everything, all the way down to the very life that you live and the breath that is coming out of your lungs, because it is millions of people in the cemetery who would love to take your place. Beautiful people, best damn nation. Thank you for watching us. You can check out all of our platforms and support the show on our social media. You can go to our Instagram at the Best Damn Wrestling Podcast. You can join our Facebook group at the Best Damn Wrestling Nation. You can join our Facebook page at the BD Wrestling Podcast. Go there. We got a lot of people on there. You can go to our Twitter at Best Damn Crew, and you can visit our Twitch at the Best Damn Wrestling Podcast. And if you have a TikTok and you want to join us on TikTok, join our TikTok at Best Damn Wrestling Podcast. And if you want to support the show, well, only thing that you have to do is go to our Patreon, www.patreon.com/the Best Damn Wrestling Podcast. For as low as $5, you can get cups, you can get hoodies, you can get shirts, all kind of goodies for your wrestling pleasure. I got some new shirts and paraphernalia in the works for the beautiful people. Some new hotness for you to wear. Even if you ain't a wrestling fan, you're going to love these shirts, Jack. So go to our Patreon, www.patreon.com/the Best Damn Wrestling Podcast to support the show. Or you can go to our social media pages and support the show. Or you can go to the Best Damn Wrestling Podcast .live and donate there to your boys. We appreciate you guys being here. We appreciate you guys showing up. Beautiful people, we will see you next week on the next Best Damn Wrestling Podcast. Fellas, it is always an honor and pleasure. Beautiful people, we bid you adieu.